Some people, yeah, very much better than, some weekends before. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Fine.
Good to go, Monica. Anytime you want.
Okay, here we go. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. It's very nice to see you again for another week as we start another week. And I have 2 quick notes for you. In fact, 3. One for your diaries later this week. Starting with the President of the General Assembly in Belgrade, he spoke earlier today at the opening of the 60th anniversary of the Non-Aligned Movement, NAM. Mr. Shahid met the presidents of the Republic of Azerbaijan, His Excellency Mr. Ilham Aliyev, and the President of the Republic of Serbia, His Excellency Mr. Aleksandar Vučić. Both leaders are co-hosts of the commemorative meeting. The PGA said that as a forum for consultation and collaboration with consistent advocacy in favor of peace, cooperation, and friendship, NAM serves as a keystone of global multilateralism system. Mr. Shahid also spoke about the need for all to support climate action, and on the 26th of October, the PGA will convene a meeting in New York, delivering climate action for people, planet, and prosperity, which will highlight best practices and achievements in renewables, in climate finance, and in adaptation. This afternoon in Belgrade, the PGA is also meeting with the Prime Minister of the Republic of Serbia, Her Excellency, Ms. Ana Brnabić. Tomorrow, he will take part in an event with women leaders and young people. Mr. Shahid will be back in the office on Wednesday afternoon. And this 11th of October marks the Day of the Girl Child. This year, the theme is Digital Generation, Our Generation. The President of the General Assembly has recorded a video message highlighting that millions of girls simply do not have access to digital technology and that this represents an impediment for their full education. Mr. Abdullah Shahid firmly believes that the sad reality is that the digital divide, often called the new face of inequality, is deeply gendered and that millions of girls simply do not have access to this resource. The fact that some 2.2 billion people below the age of 25 still do not have access to internet at home is described by the PGA as a tragedy. Mr. Shahid has invited all to shine a light of girls everywhere, or on girls everywhere, and to recommit closing the digital divide and to empowering an entire generation of women and girls, of boys and men. For the PGA, this would offer potentially the single greatest leap in sustainable development that the world has ever seen. And more information on our YouTube channel, which is UNPGA 76. And finally, on 14th of October, for your diaries, which is on Thursday, the General Assembly will have an election for the Human Rights Council this year. The following candidates have been received by the Secretariat. The African group has 5 seats. Benin, Cameroon, Eritrea, Gambia, and Somalia are the candidates. Asia Pacific, 5 seats. India, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates are the candidates. For Eastern European states, 2 seats, Lithuania and Montenegro, GRULAC, 3 seats and 3 candidates, Argentina, Honduras, and Paraguay. And finally, the Western European and other groups also have 3 seats, Finland, Luxembourg, and the USA are the candidates. This is everything for us today. Do you have any questions here or anyone on the screen? I go a little bit slow on the screen. I learned my lesson on Friday. And I go back to you. Ray, do you have a question? Go ahead.
Thank you, Monica. Any update regarding the accreditation committee in November for the Afghanistan and Myanmar? Thank you.
No, thank you for your question. You are absolutely right. The date that we have is November, which means, I would say, next month, right? In a few weeks, couple of weeks. And but as I said before, Ray, this decision is made by the members of the committees. So if they so decide to meet a little bit earlier or later, I will inform you accordingly. But for the time being, is November. We don't know the exact date. But you're right. Yes. Celia, go ahead.
Monica, do you think that the Human Rights Council has some legitimacy when you see the number of countries that don't even respect the human rights?
You know, member states are expected to abide to the standards of human rights and the treaties, all documents that have been signed, that they ratified and adhere to. So that's what is expected from member states. And in regard with the election will be held on the 14th of October, as I said before. And again, it's an election that is decided by member states in the General Assembly. So we'll wait to see the results of the elections. Hi. But basically, as I said before, this is a scenario of what we call a clean slate. You have candidates and you have the seats available to these candidacies. And we'll wait for the meeting on the 14th. For your diaries as well, for your information, it starts at 10 a.m., okay? And member states are encouraged to arrive a little bit earlier because they have to collect the ballots. Yes. So if you don't have anything else here and anything else on the screen, I see Gloria there, and my glasses are a little bit bad, but I think Evelyn is there as well, Ephraim. So I would say, and Martin, of course. So I would say, good afternoon, everybody. I see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for coming today. I see you tomorrow. Thanks.